The second that I stopped caring about what people wanted or what was popular, that's when my work became real and authentic. My name is Amy Elizabeth Harper. I am an etching artist, printmaker, and sculptor from Los Angeles, California. Everything within etching, it's just been wonderful. I go into the print studio and I start working, and then I blink and the entire day has gone by and it feels wonderful. So I let the paper soak in a bath of water for 45 minutes to an hour, and it releases the sizing from the paper and also makes the fibers flexible and porous. So when I run it through the printing press and add pressure, the fibers will release themselves into the burrs of my plate and pull back a clean, strong, opaque image. And so now we're going to dry it off and release all of the dampness and excess water from the paper, and it always has a very delicate screen texture to the paper because it's handmade and hand pulled on a screen. And that's just my favorite part. Most people can tell by the watermark, but I always like to look at the screen. So much effort went into making this paper. It's beautiful, so try to respect that. If Rembrandt came into my studio and saw me working, he would know what everything was and every process that I was doing. I work in very traditional mediums, the true methods that have been around for 1,000 years. It's such a gorgeous process. And so I work in this traditional medium with contemporary subjects. What I do is on pieces of thin copper, I treat the copper with a variety of processes, different kinds of acids. And so basically, in a nutshell, I put this treatment on a piece of copper and I draw my image on top. Such a softness within a medium that's very aggressive. So after I draw my image, I put the piece of copper in a bath of ferric acid, and that makes the drawing permanent. And then I ink up my images and run it through a press. So I come here and, I start working and I just get lost. I completely get lost in here. All the smells of warm pigment and oil and the paper, and I just get into the zone, and I try to audition as much as I can. Start out with an idea of the face that I want to work with, and then I start drawing, and it just takes on a complete life of its own. It becomes its own animal, and the image tells me where to go. This is my favorite part. It's the most beautiful part. You're gonna see the image all of a sudden just appear. It's spectacular. So I'm working out of Skylight Studios here. This is where I do most of my print work. And I'm also working on a series of large-scale fingerprint paintings. I'm working on a triptych. Each canvas is 5 feet by 6 feet. So they're very large paintings. So now we're gonna cross our fingers and pull print. Then I've got a print in my edition, so I try to edition my prints as much as possible, but usually when I'm done working with an image, I just want to move right on to the next, so. Eyeballs in after the print is finished because I want them to be in a more fluid medium. I feel like in portraits like this one, when there's a narrative, some kind of struggle, something that implies a beginning and an end, I feel like the eyes are behind the figure rather than present and with us. So I paint the eyes in so they'll be seen on two different playing fields.